Thousands of graphic designers are using tools like Canva, ChatGPT, and DALL-E to make lakhs of rupees every single month. Today, you can get a lot of well-paying clients if you know how to design social media assets like carousels or stories. In this video, I'm gonna teach you how to design social media assets using ChatGPT's Canva plugin, along with free alternatives that will help you create images for free and design really good-looking carousels and stories. You can use these resources and have a proper freelancing graphic design career in less than 2 to 3 months. So without wasting any further time, let's get started. So folks, our first tool is going to be using ChatGPT for designing good-looking carousels and stories. For using a ChatGPT plugin, you need the Pro plan for ChatGPT, which costs around 1800 rupees per month. But if you don't want to spend on ChatGPT, in the second half of the video, I will be sharing a free alternative that can achieve the same results. But first, let's get inside ChatGPT. Let's make sure that you have selected ChatGPT 4. And at the bottom, you need to select the plugin section. If you don't see the plugin section, even after purchasing the Pro plan, make sure you click on the settings menu right here. And inside your beta features, just make sure that this plugin toggle is enabled. Once you close that, click on the small menu, scroll to the bottom and go to the plugin store. Here inside search plugin, you need to search for the word Canva and then click on the install button. I've already installed it, so it's there with me. So the thing about the Canva plugin is that it doesn't really help you design assets, but it gives you a good template to start from. Now, before you create social media assets, as a marketing designer, you need to know the basics of colors, typography, contrast, and basics of copywriting. And we have made a dedicated video which was around marketing design for Figma. But in a lot of cases, people are not very well versed with Figma. So this video is to make sure that if you know the basics of design, then you can at least implement that knowledge on a tool like Canva. So if you want to get deeper into how colors and branding works, then that video will help you a lot. I will paste the link in description. Coming back to ChatGPT, I have enabled the Canva plugin. So once you have installed the plugin, you still need to go to this icon and select the Canva and click on this check icon right here. Now let's assume that I have a webinar on, say, ChatGPT, and I want an Instagram post to promote the same. So here at the bottom, I will write, I need an Instagram post template to promote my tech webinar. Now, a very important instruction here is that if you go too specific into the prompt, the Canva plugin gets confused. So I will always prompt something which is very generic. All I need to do is, number one, specify the platform, because the platform tells this plugin as to what should be the ratio. So because I've said Instagram post, by default, it will give me 1:1 ratio templates. And then I also have to specify my domain, which is going to be tech, right? So now it will come up with a bunch of these templates. So it will show you the image and the hyperlink. So sometimes it gets confused as well. So for example, I asked for an Instagram post, but it still gave me a vertical story. But let's just assume that I want to make something which is into 1:1 ratio. So once you click on this hyperlink, it will open the template in a new tab. Now, if you haven't logged in your Canva account, if you're opening Canva for the very first time, on the top right corner, you will see an option that allows you to create an account. So you can make your changes. Otherwise, I would recommend you to create your account first, and then this is for free. So all the features that we use right now, I will show you what the free plan can do for you inside Canva. Now, of course, Canva as a tool is very straightforward. Let me explain you what this interface does. On the left, you have your design panel where if you're not happy with this template, you can literally take this image right here and throw it in the center. Right now, let's just say that this template is actually looking pretty cool, right? If I were to scroll down, you would see more pages, but there are no pages. I can always add another page. That means that if this is a carousel, I can have multiple slides, but let's keep things very, very simple because this is not a Canva tutorial. We will have dedicated videos on Canva very, very soon. But for now, let's see what we can do here. So if I select on this text here, I can switch between different fonts. So here you can, choose in between the recommended fonts or their entire font library. Here you can choose the font size. This is for the color. This is for making it bold. Italics is not available. This is for underline. This is for strike through. This is for alignment, whether it's centrally aligned or left aligned. This is for creating a bullet list. And if I were to select any of these, I can switch in between different colors as well. Now, the interesting part is that you can always add your own brand colors. So in some cases, your brand will have a certain set of colors that they regularly use. If you have those, you can upload them here as well. So let's just say tech webinar on ChatGPT, right? So I can take these corners and just stretch them across. But even in those cases, you would feel that this is not fitting. So maybe what I can do is I can have the words on ChatGPT in a smaller font and then keep this here. So I can just take the edges, drag it in the center and just reduce the size. And then what I can do is I can hold the Option key or the Alt key on my keyboard and make this webinar live webinar. And then I can increase the font size of live webinar. Now, how did I come up with this design decision? Now, this comes with experience. To take inspiration, you can always go to Pinterest and just look for the words as to webinar Instagram post. So if I type webinar Instagram post, you will have so much of inspiration to take color ideas from, to image ideas, like there's so much of stuff. So when it comes to social media inspiration, Pinterest is my go-to resource. I will come back here and now obviously I want to replace this girl, right? So I will just go and either press the delete key or simply click on this icon right here. Now, if I were to go to elements, they have a bunch of shapes, right? And right now we will not use these shapes, but what you can do is you can literally drag these shapes here and then you can add any image. So let's just say I go to text. This is where I can add all of these fancy text. All you need to do is drag and drop. If I go to brand, then I can add specific brand assets. But this feature is only available in the Pro plan. Now, if I want to specifically upload my own images, I can either upload files or connect my Instagram as well. So there are some places where I can, go to Instagram and probably pick an image. So because I've linked my Instagram, all of these images are easily accessible. And let's just say that, I pick any random image of mine. Let's see if I have any contextual images. Let's just assume that this is one image that I really like. All I have to do is drag it on top of this shape. And if I double click, I can extend this and probably, sort of keep it in the center like this. It's a pretty bad image, but yeah, the fun part is that if I were to delete this entire thing and let's just say I come up with an image that probably looks like this, right? They have a couple of very interesting editing tools. And of course, you have your background remover, but all of these features are in the Pro plan. So we will be covering the Pro plan in our upcoming videos, but my goal is to make sure that we just cover the free stuff in this case, right? So if you want this to look good, the easiest way would be you take a circular shape, you keep it in the center, and then you go to either your Instagram or you pick any relevant image and just throw it here, right? And you add your text. Once this entire thing is done, all you have to do is go to File and click on Download and just select JPEG and just click on Download. That is the easiest way. If you want to reorder things, let's just say that you feel like, oh, maybe this is not working out for me. You click on the Position tab and go to Layers. And this is where you will have all your layers stacked up. So maybe you don't want this. You can click here and you can, either copy it, duplicate it, or simply delete it. And you just have like a double click here. You can zoom in your image and just, keep things here and you can put the time. Now, it's very, very simple to get till this point, but you can be way more creative if you have basics of, design understanding in general. So even though they have a lot of crazy templates, you still need design sense. So you can either take inspiration from Pinterest or you can always use alternate softwares. And let me show you a very, very cool alternative, right? So firstly, when I come back to ChatGPT, they have also introduced DALL-E 3 right inside ChatGPT. So I can literally say that give me an image of a student learning on a laptop, right? Realistic, lifelike. So it works kind of like Midjourney, and Midjourney is a tool where you can put in a text and get an image, and we've created some really, really in-depth videos on Midjourney. If you want to learn how Midjourney works, what are the pro prompting techniques, we've created very in-depth videos. I'll paste the link in description. But for now, instead of using Midjourney, you can create images right inside ChatGPT, and here you don't have to go through a lot of complicated prompts yet. So right now, DALL-E 3 by default is creating really good images, but there's one very, very big reason why DALL-E 3 is way better than Midjourney. So in Midjourney, you cannot create text, That means you cannot create logos, you cannot create banners, you can't create any words. So Midjourney is really, really good at images in general, like stock photography. But if I were to add something, say a student learning on a laptop, I would probably get an image like this. But now if I say, give me a handwritten typography logo on white background so that it's easier for me to remove the background, that says live webinar. Now when I press enter, ChatGPT is going to give me a very, very cool logo on front of a white background that just says the word live webinar. Now I can also make this say Ansh Mehra, ChatGPT workshop, whatever it is. And I can take these images and then go to Canva and then edit them accordingly. So this is one route, but the only downside here is that as a student, you still need to invest in ChatGPT Plus. But there's a very, very cool free alternative, and that is the Microsoft Designer. So what I showed you right now, so these are the images, right? And what you can do is you can always select the one that has the right spelling. So in this case, it says live webinar, but it has added an extra word called liver. But here you have live webinar and you have a bunch of these words here. So you can either use a tool like Photoshop or Canva to just like erase these parts. And of course, now you'll be asking us, how do we do that? And trust me, Canva itself has a lot of tutorials on it. So if you go to Canva, if I go to the home button, right on the top navigation, they have this learn menu where you have all of these videos. So the reason is that I am not teaching these things because you don't need me to teach them. You already have all of this content available. But let's check out a free alternative. Okay. Now, as a student, you still have to invest in ChatGPT 4 to access DALL-E 3, to get this text to image. But you can get a free version of DALL-E 3 if you go to bing.com/create. Now we've already created an Instagram reel that tells you how to use this. Right now they're working on some maintenance, so I'm not able to run the prompt. Once you create an account on Microsoft Bing, you will be able to create similar images, very, very close to the kind of results that you get inside ChatGPT. Now the fun part is that Microsoft has introduced Microsoft Designer, which is a direct competitor to Canva. But it is absolutely free. So what they want is they really want this product to become more successful. So they've added a lot of AI features. So once you have come to designer.microsoft.com, you just need to describe the platform and your purpose. So I can say an Instagram post to promote my tech webinar. And now the fun part is that I can specify color schemes. I can also add my own image. So I can say that put this face of mine so that, the entire carousel looks more branded. If you have specific brand colors, you can specify them here. And once I click on generate, the most powerful feature of Microsoft Designer is that it not only adds the visuals, but it also writes the copy, which is not available in the free plan of Canva. So as you can see, you have a couple of these templates available. And in some cases, it has also removed the background. Automatically, it has removed the background. Right now, you can select any of these templates and you can either download them directly or you can click on customize design. So last week I was trying this platform and I realized that the editing tools are as simple as Canva. So, in all of these editing tools, all you have to do is click on the element and they would have the typography and the font sizes right here. If you select on a specific image, you have replace, you have background, you have crop, and then on the left, you have more templates to choose from. Right? So you have a couple of templates, otherwise you can search what you're looking for. And the only advantage of Microsoft Designer and Bing is that they're giving a lot of this value for free. So before we move to the last part where we use ChatGPT to critique and give you feedback, let's understand how this practically works. To be honest, if you just know the basics of Canva or Microsoft Designer, you will not be able to make good amount of money. So here is a step-by-step roadmap. Step number 1, you first understand how visual design and copywriting and typography and contrast works. These are the 4 components that you need to learn and they're not very difficult to understand. We have created a very, very first principle based video which was called Basics of Social Media Marketing Design. I will paste the link in description. The first half of that video tells you about first principles. The second half takes you on Figma. You don't have to go through Figma, but that one video will tell you a lot. For inspiration, there is a huge library. Like I have a list of resources that I regularly use to take visual inspiration. I will paste every single link in the description. Please make sure that you create a Notion page and take all of these resources and regularly check them out because they will fine-tune your design sense. So step number 1 would be to understand the basics of design and visuals. Step number 2 would be to, of course, decide whether you want to become really good at Canva or really good at Microsoft Designer. If you don't have a budget and you're okay with basic quality, then right now Microsoft Designer is doing a pretty good job. But if you are really interested in making good amount of money, then you might have to invest in Canva AI and ChatGPT, because ChatGPT will help you with your copywriting and Canva AI can save you a lot of time, when it comes to like editing and, making carousel and stuff like that. But this is still level 1. If you want to go to level 2, level 3, level 4, then you have to understand that you need to get resources from websites like Envato, Elements and Motion Array. All of the crazy stuff that I make, it has been possible because I use ready-made templates. I barely design from scratch. And that is the secret of all the great designers out there. None of them design from scratch. They make money, they reinvest it into good subscriptions that give them really good templates, right? So Envato, Elements and Motion Array are 2 tried and tested websites that I regularly use for these templates. You will have to learn Adobe Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator at some point in your career, because without these tools, gaining that leverage and going beyond the 50,000 rupees per month wala mark is very tough. So I know that it is intimidating, but with so many AI tools coming in within the Adobe suite, editing is going to become very simple. In fact, Adobe just had their recent event called Adobe Max. I would totally recommend you to check out 3 things. One is Project Stardust. One is Project Fast Fill, which is like generative fill for videos. And at the very end, Project Prime Rose, which is not for graphic editing, but for this color changing dress, which is absolutely mind blowing. It will completely change the way that you look at design. So it's going to be super exciting. We will have detailed videos on that as well. Coming back to the topic, you have to make sure that you spend at least 3 to 4 months learning these things, understanding the basics of design, choosing your platform, whether it's Canva AI or Microsoft Designer. At the very end, reinvesting your money back into subscriptions, and then spending a lot of time learning Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator. Because I could have made a very clickbaity video saying that, learn Canva and make a lot of money. I am from the industry. Please let me give you the reality check that there are thousands of people who started with Canva and they were stuck at a ceiling. So I'm not saying that there's not enough money to make. You can make around 25 to 30,000 rupees per month. And then you can sort of have multiple clients that pay you 30,000. So if you're working very hard, you will make 10 clients that give you 30,000 each. So you can always hit a good goal of, 1 lakh, 2 lakh rupees per month. But at one point you will ask yourself that how can I make more money in less amount of time? To get that, you need high paying clients. So we made a video which was around how to get high paying clients as a freelancer. That video will teach you a lot about how do you get high paying clients in general, whether it's for UX, whether it's for video editing, whether it's for graphic design. So I would personally recommend you to check out that video. Now, before we end, I really want to show you this very cool feature inside ChatGPT that allows you to get feedback on your websites, UI, posters, everything. They're calling it ChatGPT Vision, where you can literally upload an image and get feedback on your designs. So let's come back to ChatGPT and see how this works. Alright, so we're back into ChatGPT, and let me open my Instagram and let me show you how amazing this feature is for UI designers, for graphic designers, for everyone, right? So let's just say that this is my carousel. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a screenshot of this design right here. Okay, I'm going to come back to ChatGPT, create a new chat, go to the default chat, and here on the bottom left, you will see this attach image column. Now I can literally go here, take a screenshot, and then say, give me concrete feedback on this design. Okay, and then it is still uploading the image, so I'm not able to press enter, but now I can. And now ChatGPT will go through my social media carousel cover and then give me feedback. Now, while it is doing this, I can literally go to, say, my own website, and as a UX designer, I can take screenshot of this entire web page and then get feedback from ChatGPT. So I can literally go here, and it has given the feedback already. So first it starts with typography. So typography is bold and easy to read, which gives prominence to the main messages. Hierarchy is clear. Color palette is consistent and appropriate for a dark mode theme. So it's still like giving a positive review till now. And in most cases, you have to be more explicit in the prompt. So you can also say that give me concrete feedback on this design and only tell me what I need to improve, right? But I wanted to show this with a simpler prompt just to make you understand that it is going to a very, very detailed level to come up with good feedback, right? So even for my face, it's saying the man in the image is engaging with a friendly gesture, which can create a connection with viewers. However, it might be beneficial to ensure that the man doesn't overshadow the primary focus, which is the design resources. Right now, it is giving feedback on the layout and composition as well, that the design has a balanced layout. Day 2022 of 100 daily design resources is a nice touch to signify an ongoing series or challenge. It is still giving feedback, it sort of takes a bit of time. But yeah, so once it has highlighted all the good things about my design, it is now telling me areas for improvement. So clarity of offer. It is evident that this is a dark mode design library, but the specifics of what users get could be made clearer. 100%, I do agree that. If the main focus is design resources, you might consider making the design previews more prominent or larger and possibly reduce the size of the man's image a bit. Overall, it's a visually appealing design with a clear theme. So yeah, makes sense. So I'll select this thing right here. Let me upload this image right here. And this is my portfolio website. Only tell me areas where I can improve both the UI and copy. So now I'm very, very explicit about the kind of feedback I expect from ChatGPT, right? So now it'll say that these are the certain areas of improvement for both UI and copy. So the first thing that it has highlighted is the consistency. The first image of you is in color, while the second one in the true story section is in grayscale. So it sort of feels like the saturation levels are not consistent. Then image clarity. In the true story section, the grayscale image seems slightly blurry or low resolution. 100%. Now you can imagine how much detail it is considering, right? Like, I have also not really noticed this disadvantage in my website, even though I have a lot of things that I want to improve on. Button feedback. The switch lights on toggle doesn't immediately convey its function. Consider an icon or clear labeling. And that makes a lot of sense. Maybe if I had like a bulb icon right here, it would have simply made more sense. So yes, concrete feedback. Spacing and alignment. Ensure consistent spacing between sections and elements. For example, the space between the good to see you here section and the icons on the right appear wider than between other elements. Oh, interesting. So it's saying that the padding is unequal within that div. Icon sizes. The icon size on the right differs slightly in size. Oh man, they do actually. The phone is smaller and this one is bigger. See, so I think it is going down to a level where it is actually calculating the pixels. Now let's go to the copy. Good to see you here is a warm introduction, but the following sentence, this page is a quick summary of what I've been up to, contains a typo. Up to should be up space to. Oh man, this is so powerful. Like, imagine so many students seek mentorship from people for just this. They pay a lot of money to consultants and people just to review their designs and websites. And you can do this for literally any landing page, any website whatsoever. So it's crazy the kind of use cases this can have for both marketing and web designers. Clear CTA, consistency in tone, descriptive headers. So yeah, this will keep going on, and I just wanted to show this before we end the video, because we will have detailed videos on how do we use ChatGPT for design and social media in general. But I just wanted to introduce this as video number 1, because we will have a very long playlist where we will dig deeper into every single aspect of social media marketing. So hope this video gave you some ideas about how Canva and ChatGPT and all of these new features can help you become a better designer, and what is the roadmap to actually making good enough money. Let me know in the comment section as to what all topics should I consider in my next upcoming videos. And most importantly, folks, we have launched a website called learnuiux.in, where I have created a full roadmap. It has a 7-week long syllabus that you can use to become a self-taught UX designer and apply for all the crazy, amazing jobs out there in the world. Apart from this, we have also launched a free course on Figma, very in-depth foundational course on Figma that covers every single important thing that you need to know about. And trust me when I say this, if you finish those 10 lectures of that Figma course, you will be so far ahead of everybody else in the industry. And you can use Figma for marketing design as well. So it's not just for UI, right? So we are teaching you Figma. We have a separate UX design course. Those are 15-episode course that teaches you how to design apps and websites, but this is a Figma course. So if you invest enough time in learning Figma, trust me when I say this, you can create any designs that you want for social media, for apps, and whatever it is. If you're here for the first time, make sure you click on subscribe and hit the bell icon, because we will be coming up with a lot of amazing videos on this channel around design, technology, and AI. With that being said, I hope that you're taking care of your mind and body. This is your dost Ansh Mehra signing out. If you like this video, make sure you click on like and hit the subscribe button. I regularly upload videos on UX design, marketing, and storytelling.